Welcome to another episode of Steady Mobbin Podcast. Episode 5. We have a special guest. This is a different type of show. I came across this man's story, and I could say that I am disturbed by the allegations, by what I've read, what I've seen, and what I've heard. This man has been used and abused in our culture by someone that we're all familiar with. His story will strike you. And being a black man, seeing another black man treated the way he's been treated, I'm going to be an advocate for that person. Call me biased, call me whatever you want, but that's just what it is. And I've done my research. I've looked into his story. I've verified his claims. And I will go on record by saying, I believe him. This man is the driving force and the reason for the success of Informer. Yes, that song by Snow. This man is the reason why that song 30 years later is what it is. Welcome to the show, Marvin Prince.
One love. One love, guys.
So, let's start with how you met Snow.
I met Snow in 1988. I was going to play at a party off of Oak Street and Harwood. And a fight happened, and my good friend was in the fight. And after the fight, when the police break up the fight, my friend introduced me to a guy named Darren, right? Because it was my friend Tommy, Christian, and Darren, right? And while I was walking, he was speaking Jamaican, like he was swearing in Jamaican.
Yes.
So that kind of weird to see a white boy swearing in Jamaican.
At that
right?
time, especially.
At that time, right. And then he started singing. So I was asking him, are you Jamaican? Right? And he said, no. I said, your mother and father are Jamaican? He said, no. I found it odd. Right? And then he started singing more songs and all that. And then I told him I'm a DJ, come to my house. So the next day he came to my house. But that night I didn't sleep, right? Because his voice captured me. It was very hypnotizing. Yeah. And I came up with the name Snow for him that night.
Snow.
Snow, yeah.
And what's that, an acronym?
Yeah, it stands for Superb, Notorious, Outrageous White Boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the next day now, do you tell him, like, this is what his name is going to be? Like,
no, what I did was the first thing when he came to my house, he was like, who lives here? I said, I do. And he goes, you're Jamaican? And I said, yeah. Why, what's wrong? He said, yeah, but the house. I said, what's wrong at the house? Right? And he was like, I get what he was trying to say. Yeah. It's a big house.
It's a proper house. Yeah. Why are you not in the projects? Why is your house run down? Yeah.
Right. And I said, well, the guy across the street there, so he's Jamaican. The guy 4 doors up, he's Jamaican. The guy across from him, they're
Shattered
Jamaican.
the stereotype.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. And then from there, he was watching me DJ in my room, and I was freaking him out because I was doing tricks on the turntables. Right. Mm-hmm. And then what freaked him out even more, I started playing the dancehall artists, but I had them on video. He's never seen them on video. Mm-hmm. So certain artists, I was playing them, he was like, who's that? And I would tell him who that is and blah, blah, blah. And that's how we hooked up from there. Mm-hmm. Right, so. Yeah.
So he fights, he's speaking Patois, you're captured.
He's a hood rat.
He's a hood rat. He's captured by it. You tell him you're a DJ. Mm-hmm. You invite him to your house.
Right.
And what do you do at your house? Like, what's happening in your house?
Well, I wanted to test him myself. Mm-hmm. So I took the vinyl records that I had, right? I had the Love Bump rhythm and all that, and I played the rhythm. and then I ask him to sing something to it, and then he'll sing like a cocoa-tea to it, right? And then I give him another rhythm, the sling ting rhythm, and then he'll sing another song to it. I was like, okay, he's good. So then I tried to test him now. I said, you see this song by Squeeze, it's called Tempted to Touch, that's a rock group, right? And I said, sing that song on this rhythm, and that's the Bye Bye Love rhythm, right? It took him a while, but he did it.
He did it.
Yeah, he did it.
Okay.
Right, and I was showing him the reason why I did it, because a lot of the Jamaicans, 80s songs, even the 70s songs, were all country music songs.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people don't realize.
Yeah.
JC loves Someone Loves You Honey. That's an old Charlie Pride song.
Jamaicans are really great
At
at
covering
taking music
songs. Yeah,
and
yeah.
making it their
Yeah.
own.
Yeah, covering songs.
Because Tempted to Touch, I would assume that was just an original reggae track.
No, not Tempted to Someone Loves You Honey.
Someone Loves You
Honey.
Honey.
By JC Lodge.
Okay.
Which was huge.
I got to do some Googling.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Tempted to Touch is Bears.
Barris. Oh, so that's original.
Yeah, that's Bears original.
Okay.
So, yeah.
My bad. Sorry, Barris. We want you on the podcast. Anyways, how long do you work with Snow? Like, okay, so
All right.
like what's the time period like he's in your basement and you're helping him kind of just,
Okay, I met him in June of 88. I left home at August the 26th, 1988, because that was my birthday, to go get a recording contract. Because at 18, my parents can't say nothing to me. I don't have to come
you're
back
an
home,
adult, yeah.
right? So I left home. And then I was shopping all my demos that I did with him all at that time. So I was working at the gas station and I'd play the demos late at night and all that. And then like certain sound men would come in and they'd be like, where you get that Pinchers tune from? I said, no, it's not Pinchers, it's a white youth. And they didn't believe me. So then I would get Snow, I book an appointment with them, come down to their place. And then I would introduce them to Snow and have Snow sing and all that. But they couldn't do anything for me because they were just sound. At that time, I thought they could.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But I was shopping it to everybody that I could. And then in 89, he got in trouble with the law.
Yes.
For the attempted murder.
Attempted murder, yes.
So while he was in jail at East Attention, I was still shopping the demos.
Okay. So he's in prison and you're trying to get him a deal.
I'm trying to do everything.
And you're trying to get him a deal in Canada.
In Canada, yeah.
In Canada.
I was working at Leon's and people heard the demos and then they gave me the whole spiel about them a producer and all this, them a studio, then you find out it's a lie and all that. So then I ended up going to New York.
Yes.
Because my son mother lived in New York. My son wasn't born at the time.
Okay. So before you go to New York,
right.
So obviously like you believe in this guy.
Oh yeah, big time.
Right. And are you telling him your plans? You're telling him, like, are you communicating with him while he's in jail, letting him know this is what I'm going to do? And what's he saying? Is he giving you the thumbs up, like, go do it? Like,
he didn't understand what I was doing.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Because I'm just singing.
Okay.
And when I keep telling him, guess who likes this song and blah, 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 he's like, okay.
So he wasn't really about the music.
No, he didn't see it in himself.
So it's you, like it was solely you who saw the potential, and
yeah, he didn't see it. No,
you're the driving force.
Yeah, he didn't see it.
Okay.
He didn't see it.
Okay.
And then even when he came out to jail and I still tested it, he still didn't see it. I took him like to Barry Culture dances, right? And I asked Barry Culture for the mic. Because he couldn't get the mic himself because they thought he was either an immigration officer or a cop.
Yes.
Inside there.
He doesn't fit the profile.
He doesn't fit, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're the cosign. You're definitely the cosign.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
that makes sense.
So then he'll ask me what song to sing. So I say, all right, do a Junior Reid or do a Barrington Levy. Right. And I tell him what song. So as soon as he does it, freak out everybody. But he still didn't believe it. He didn't see it because he was more involved in the criminal activities.
Yes.
Right?
Which he's very open about.
Right.
What was he? Was he like a drug dealer?
No.
He was a booster.
Booster.
Was he, what, like a thief?
Yeah, go store and thief things.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so you go to New York You know what? There's an irony with that, and I'm trying not to laugh.
It's pretty funny.
It's like, oh shit, it makes
Once a
sense.
thief, always a thief.
It makes more sense now. Okay, so you go to New York. What happens in New York? You get to New York, yeah.
So while I was in New York, I was shopping the demos to different places. Because,
Before you go there,
right?
Is Informer on the demo?
Yes, Informer was on the demo because when he came out in 1990, the first studio I took him to was Cali Beat Studio off of Rogers Road.
Okay.
Right, and we did 5-song demo. Cost me $250.
And you're fitting the cost for all of this.
Yeah, because him don't have no money.
Yeah, he has no income.
Yeah, I'm working, so
Yeah.
I'm working going to school. So
And what was your contribution to Informer? Because that's the song.
the first time Informer was done, he called me from jail and he said, "Listen to this," and then he sang the first part of the chorus, which is Informer. Said that is no them I could blame. Right, skidoo doom doom day. That's all he had, right? But it was so catchy, right? Yeah. Because at that time I was playing a song by Lady Anne, right, on the Diseases rhythm, called Informer, right? Okay. So he was going off of that, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I came up with the second part of it. So Informer, said that is no them I go blame. I'm not going to say licky bone, but detective man said that is no stop somebody in the lane. Because in Jamaica we say lane, we don't say block.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't say.
Yeah.
It's block lane, or your corner, your corner.
Yeah. Got it.
And that's how that part come up. Then when he came out, now he hated it, and I said, "No, you have something here." Yeah. And then the first verse, I said, "Try this." Right? And
so you're teaching them Jamaican lingo.
Yes,
because they don't say block, they say lane.
Right.
So you're giving him like little pieces, like
It's like I
you're
said,
a reggae artist. You got.
It's like I said, put on. Say if you have a cut, I say rub the single Bible on your hand, right? We say single Bible, right? But it's really aloe vera.
Got it. Yeah.
Right. So when he's talking about I teach him reggae, no, I met him singing the reggae. Yes. All I did was in my bass was fine tune, and then certain things I would tell him to say it like this.
Because one of the criticisms he says in one of his interviews that you didn't teach him reggae, but you're not claiming that you taught him reggae.
I never taught him reggae, no.
You are saying that you helped him refine his style.
Right.
And helped him actually even become a better performer and give him some of the lingo.
Right.
Because you are Jamaican. You come from a Jamaican background. Were you born in Jamaica too?
Yeah, I was born in Jamaica.
So, like, you're telling me, like,
Kingston,
we don't
13.
say this, we say that.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
Okay.
It's like, let me just shoot ahead fast. I thought I could DJ, right? Until my son's mother said, "Come to New York and see the guys them in my neighborhood." When I saw the guys them in her neighborhood, I turned a DJ junkie. Every day I was at their house soaking it up.
Yeah.
As much as I could DJ, them up on a different level.
Yes, for sure.
That was the same thing with Snow.
Got it.
So when I would give him play, okay, you can do Ecamos. Well, I have Ecamos live at Aces. I have Ecamos live at what do you call it, Skateland and all them things.
Yeah.
Right? Listen to this.
Yeah.
Because my uncle had the tapes. Right? So when him hear it now and then, it freak him out. All right, practice it. Okay, keep going, until him get it right. And then I say, all right, I could go try it at a dance.
Got it. Because people are going to push back against your story, right?
Oh, they can push back, but everything is out there.
So I just want to make it clear, your contribution to the Informer song. What were your ideas? What did you contribute? What part of that song is Marvin Prince?
The first verse was me and him throwing lyrics back and forth.
Okay, you guys collabed, yeah.
The chorus there.
The chorus.
Right. The second verse, that's him.
That's him.
Right, because him talking about jail experience.
Yes.
Never been to jail, so I can't tell you, unless if I write it off of a movie. The third verse That's me and him because it was Lectra, a guy named Lectra in Jamaica that was DJing at a dance. They were at the back of a truck with Shabarant and Major Mackerel.
Okay.
Right? And then the last verse now is from a guy in Ajax named Little Reds. Little Reds live in Manchester, Jamaica right now. He's suffering. Right?
Suffering.
He wrote the verse. He's financially suffering in Jamaica. He wrote the last verse. That last verse is on Daddy Yankee's Concama.
So you're saying that he needs to be
compensated of course,
because
yeah.
Is he aware that he
Yeah.
Yeah.
But them the guys get to you, them poor. You understand? Reds used to go sing at the dance, come on my house and sing, and then I record it. And then I'll be like, no, sing this when you meet people. So I'd be like, I ain't meet you for the first time, Snow, sing that song by Reds.
And who produced the song?
A guy named Edmund Leary.
Edmund Leary
and
Mikey G.
Yeah.
And from what I've read, Edmund Leary, he's also suffering.
Oh, Edmund Leary suffering. Yeah. Edmund Leary, I met Bubbles in a Central Park.
So my next question is for you: is when you shot the video,
right,
and the blow up happened for Snow.
Okay, when we shot the video, Snow went 2 days later back to jail.
Okay, for how long?
For a year.
When did he reap the benefits of the song? And were you his manager at the time, or somebody else's manager at the time? Or was MC
No, the Shan introduced us to the managers, his friends. Shan introduced us to the
Before
manager.
we even get to Shan,
Yeah.
let's go on record right
It's
now,
a
right?
big gap right there, sir. Yeah.
There's a huge gap.
Yeah.
You're in New York. Okay. The introduction to Shan. How'd you meet Shan? What happened there? Where were you?
I was at a friend's studio named Goldfinger in New York. He's off of 172nd and Jamaica Avenue. Right? His studio was in the basement. He was also working with a guy named Frankie Paul, Jamaican legend Frankie Paul. So I had a meeting with Def Jam. Right? And how I got the meeting with Def Jam is because Walt, that was the manager for Black Moon, had a record store called Music Factory. I played Walt Informer. Q-Tip was there. Q-Tip heard the song, and he gave me a name of a lady to call at Def Jam. And when I called her and I said I got the number from Q-Tip, she hooked up a meeting with me. So I went to go tell Goldfinger about this meeting. And while I was there, I recognized a guy that was there. That was tall, but his face just kept bugging me, right? And I kept looking at him, and it just kept bugging me. But him dress in a Jamaica, you'd say him dress shabby.
Yeah.
You could tell him never had nothing at all.
Got it.
Right? And then when I played the song for Goldfinger, right, him was leaving because Goldfinger wasn't paying him no attention. And then the back of his shirt, it was him had an all white shirt and the letters fade out. So it went from red to pink. And it said MC Shan. And then when I looked down, I realized it was Shan because he had the two different Pumas on, right? And I called to him and I talked to him and I told him about Snow. And he was interested in hearing Snow. So he said, can you get him here? Because he asked me where Snow. I said, Snow's in Canada. So I went back home to where I was staying in Queens with my son's mom, and I told her the money that I have for the crib, because my son was being born the next month. I said, I need to get Darren down here. Darren is Snow, right? And
So you used the money for the crib.
Yeah, I used the money and got
Snow.
it. Yeah, it kicked off between me and her, but
Oh, I'm sure.
right,
And that's a testament to how much you believed in Snow.
right. So I got him down here.
Was there any? Actually, I'm jumping into the deep of it.
Okay.
We're kind of time constraints. When did you realize that he's becoming fugazi with the business? Like you weren't coming, or you weren't no longer part of the meetings.
No, all that. When I knew something was wrong, is when they banned him from from America,
Okay.
right? And they also banned him from Japan. So I borrowed $50 from my father because I had to buy my son a pair of shoes. So the tour had stopped then. So I had my son on my shoulder, and I'm walking, going to Payless, which was across the street from me. And then he pulled up in a Pathfinder. I was like, where you get this? Because me and you take bus and train. And he's like, oh, he got his money and all that. And I said, where's my money? He said, oh, the money is coming, the money is coming. And then I said, hold on, something that sound right. And then he came over to my house. And then he and my father had it out. As much as my father is a Christian, my father tell him some bad word from here to the moon.
Wow. Because your father knew something wasn't adding up.
Right. Something wasn't adding up at all.
Yeah.
Right. And then a few days later, the song that I got the credit for, Snow got a contract from the manager. And from the contract, what the contract says that it sound good, 7 pages, it sound good. But the last page said if I sign the contract for the song, I get $1.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. And obviously you didn't sign that.
No, I didn't sign it.
Okay.
And he presented that to you?
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Okay. So
Because he wanted me to sign it right there. And I was like, no.
because Snow says, right, and this is I'm paraphrasing here. He says, if I don't know the business, how am I able to rip Marvin Prince off? So that's a question. It's probably rhetorical that, he's
I'll
like,
explain it right now.
yeah, break it down.
Right? All right. What came out in court when we were in court? In January 1992, it showed that he signed a contract with the management. So this is behind my back.
Yeah, of course he had to.
So, but January 1992, I was at Seneca doing my exams before I had to come down to America to finish the album. What was also done in 1991, Shan, when I introduced him to Shan, right? The day that he signed a paper with Shan, I was at a wedding with my son's mom. Right? So he was with Shan the whole time.
Got it.
That date came out in court when I backtrack it and then I got in touch with my son's mom, then she told me, yeah, that's the wedding that he was at. Then the production contract the recording contract he was signed that in, I think it was June 1992, if I'm correct.
Wow. And another claim he makes is that he says that you wanted to work with him again years later. So he's basically saying, if I'm such a bad person, why would Marvin Prince want to work with me again? What's your response to that?
We're still not working. I can't work with him. Yeah. I can't, really and truly, I'm not Jesus. I can't resurrect the dead. Right? The only song he have is that one song. Everything that he's done, 5 or 6 albums, flop.
Yeah. And you contributed to 12 Inches of Snow.
Yeah.
What song did you, compose on that album?
Informal, Lonely Monday Morning. Those are the writing one. Champion Sound, Runway.
Wow.
Right? But when you open the album, the CD, my picture's there. It's me and him.
Yeah.
Then when you look at the credits, not the credit part, the thank yous and all that, it says Prince gives credit to his grandparents, his mother, big paragraph, more than a paragraph, about 2 paragraphs.
So in your train of thought, this was a joint album, basically.
Yeah, it was just me and him, partners in crime.
Yeah. And
Will
in the
Bucky
earlier
on
days,
bench.
you could
Yeah.
see in the videos, a lot of interviews. You were right there with
I
them.
was there every interview, from MTV, everything.
Yeah.
Because they were interested how did this black guy find a white guy that sing reggae that's not from Jamaica.
And it's on record, too, as well, that Snow's mother says that you are the driving force behind Snow.
Right.
You are the man that helped him. Or actually, even not even helping because he didn't really see the vision.
Right.
You are the nucleus. You are the driving force for the success of that song. And
Yes.
she's on record saying that.
Yeah.
You know what's also crazy is that you've actually you've actually fought for your rights in court.
I did.
You've won the rights.
I won. Yeah. I
Yeah,
won.
so break that down.
And the judge ordained that you weren't able to
No,
have access
what
to
had happened was I won in it was an all white jury, and I won my case. I proved my case, right? And first they were talking to the judge because they handed him a paper. I never knew what it was, and the judge said excessive. That's all I heard. And then when the jury came back in, they awarded me 1.5. But when I was outside with the jury when they left, they said, no, we had awarded you $20 million. But the judge said it was excessive. So they awarded me what Snow had, which was 1.5. They were awarding me the 20 million because Snow was being sued, but also the managers. The managers were also the record label. Right? So that's why they would award me the 20 million. Right? But because the judge threw out the management part of it, they said, well, everything that Snow have, give it to Prince, 1.5.
That's what we had in an account at the time.
Yeah. And you had a conversation with Chuck D. And what did Chuck D tell you?
I told him that I'd won my lawsuit, but the judge is going to get back to me. I do not know why. And Chuck D said, Prince, you're a black man fighting a white man in America. The judge is not going to give you the money. And so said, so done. 18 months later, the judge took the money away. Throughout the whole case. He threw out the whole case.
But you can't. To me, that's bizarre. Like
It is bizarre.
How after when it's said and done and the gavel's been
A jury decision, by the way, too.
But
Jury, right.
nonetheless, the gavel hit the ground or the wooden thing. How is it 18 months later he comes back? He's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to withdraw this. Like, how is that possible?
I remember a reporter said this to me. What just happened to you is like the jury said, don't hang the man. And the judge said, I don't like him anyway. I'm going to hang him. And the judge hanged the guy.
Do you remember the judge's name?
Yeah, Ira Gammerman.
Irene.
Ira. I-R-A.
Gammerman.
Gammerman.
Okay, so critics are going to say, what do you want from this whole thing? It's been 30 years. Marvin Prince, let it go. Why are you still talking about this? What do you have to say?
Well, put it this way. Back in my days, we never had none of this stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't have.
A big shout for that.
Right. And secondly, I want my money back. And I will always fight till I get my money back. Right. And third, the truth be told, because they're trying to erase me from history.
That's pretty fucked. I remember now looking back, I remember having his album in front of me when I was a kid, and I remember seeing your face.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucked.
Do you have anything you want to say to Snow directly? No.
What?
The only thing I can say is that
Send me the money.
not only send me, I'm one of God's children, so no matter what you do, you're gonna have to live with it. All right? Who God bless, nobody curse.
Absolutely. And Snow, you got to do the right thing. You are a visitor to our culture. And what you did, right, outside of the music, on a human level, is diabolical. You took advantage of a Jamaican man, used the language, used the music to benefit yourself. You got to cut the check. Do what's right. It's never too late for redemption.
Just reach out to the parties.
Do what's right.
One thing you got to remember, I resurrected Shan's career.
You did.
Shan didn't have a career when I met him. You got to
MC
think.
Shan, you were in my DMs. Let's have a conversation because you are actively trying to erase Marvin Prince from the storyline. You did not just meet Snow because he was just in New York freestyling. This man is the reason why you're getting a check today. Don't get it twisted, Shan. You claim to be a man of integrity. So it's time for you to show your integrity. He is the nucleus of this story. He is the reason you guys are getting checks 30 years later. You cannot erase him. It is documented. Even by your own mouth, you say you met Snow because of Marvin Prince.
And this is Steady Mobbin, episode 500 something. We'll have it in the description, the number on there. Big shout out to DJ Marvin for coming out.
And to his brother, to his family. And culture vultures, no more. You will not abuse and use our people, our sound to get famous and leave us in shambles. If I have anything to say about it, those days are over. Steady Mobbin Podcast.
One.